The National Autonomous University of Mexico, UNAM, has played a major role in the history and formation of our country.
Its excellence as an institution is recognized throughout the academic world. It has been accredited internationally by the most rigorous university evaluations. But above all, it is backed up by the valuable and responsible work carried out daily by thousands of students, professors, and researchers.
UNAM responds to the present and looks toward the future as the country's most important cultural project.
Today, the National University is committed to the formation of new generations of Mexicans that the country requires, as well as generating the cutting-edge knowledge that stimulates the country's progress. The university is equally committed to playing a relevant role on the international stage and to continue collaborating from academia toward solutions for the country's great problems.
UNAM is a public, autonomous, and secular institution. More than 450 years old, it's the oldest university in America, along with the universities of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic and Lima, Peru.
The university's principal tasks are teaching, research, and the diffusion of culture. Its community is made up of more than 360,000 students, academics, and administrative personnel.
UNAM educates almost 300,000 students at the high school, bachelor, and graduate school levels. It is estimated that it provides some 25,000 classes daily. Moreover, it not only receives more students, but also offers more educational options than any institution in Mexico. This year alone, more than 82,000 students were admitted. 35,000 in high school, 37,000 at the bachelor level, and more than 10,000 at the postgraduate level.
UNAM offers two different high school systems, the National Preparatory School and the College of Sciences and Humanities. 82 majors are offered in its different faculties and schools.
Likewise, UNAM counts on an innovative postgraduate system of the highest order, which extends to 131 areas of master's and doctoral studies, and 167 areas of specialization.
The school systematically evaluates its study plans in order to adjust to the academic requirements of the 21st century. The dynamic of the labor market is studied as well, so that the school's graduates can compete at the highest levels.
UNAM also has the Open University System, through which thousands of students study 26 different bachelor degree majors without having to attend class every day. In addition, various master's programs and continuing education courses are offered as mixed programs or as distance learning. Both high school and 16 bachelor degree majors are also available through the distance learning program.
UNAM has 3 advanced technology centers for the distance learning program: in Tlaxcala, Oaxaca, and Chiapas.
The school's incorporated system reinforces its educational commitment to society. This system integrates 311 private institutions throughout the country, where more than 83,000 students study at the high school and bachelor degree levels.
Strengthening upper medium education is currently a priority since it represents the basis and support of the higher levels of education. A well-prepared high school student is more likely to go on to study a bachelor's or even postgraduate degree.
Likewise, the multidisciplinary focus in the elaboration of plans and study programs is characteristic of the importance the institution gives to the areas of special interest.
Among some of the more recent professional programs available are Genomic Sciences, Environmental Sciences, Sustainable Management of Coastal Zones, Technology, Intercultural Planning and Development, Pharmaceutics and Diagnostic Biochemistry. These areas of study place students at the vanguard of knowledge and make available to them numerous career opportunities.
In keeping with its high standard of academic quality, the majority of UNAM's majors have been certified by external evaluating institutions. An important number of postgraduate programs are included in CONACYT's Register of Excellence as well.
Another of UNAM's objectives is to facilitate its bachelor's and postgraduate level students' entrance into other academia institutions with full official recognition anywhere, whether it be in the Americas, Europe, or Asia.
The school's participation in the creation of the Common Space Consortium for Upper Education Distance Learning is just one example of how UNAM encourages students from other states and other countries to take advantage of studying through its exchange programs.
One consequence of UNAM's international leadership has been the strengthening of agreements with the Latin American and Caribbean network of macro universities, as well as the Latin American Universities Union. A central point of these agreements is the fortifying of the public university in the region, the results of which are already starting to be seen in scholarship programs, exchanges, student mobility, and joint research projects.
UNAM is a reflection of the country's diversity. Here, students from all parts of the country with different ideologies, beliefs, and preferences live and work together. The university's open door policy welcomes students from all backgrounds, social, economic, or otherwise.
The university has increased its scholarship program substantially. According to the latest records, the number of bachelor and graduate level degree students receiving scholarships rose to 81,000, thereby facilitating their continued studies.
In terms of research, the National University plays a fundamental role in the country. It has been estimated that 1 out of every 3 publications is formulated by our academics.
The university carries out some 8,000 research projects in every field of knowledge. Exact and natural sciences, agricultural sciences, engineering and technology, health sciences, as well as social sciences, humanities, and the arts.
The universality of knowledge is an intrinsic value at the National University. Scientists at UNAM collaborate on international projects, such as the construction of OSIRIS, the indispensable grand telescope of the Canary Islands, one of the world's most powerful, as well as the exploration of the depths of the country's littorals, with the help of the 2 oceanographic research ships, the Puma and the Justo Sierra.
10 scientists from UNAM are part of the Intergovernmental Group on Climate Change, which is not only sponsored by the UN, but is also the recipient of the 2007 Nobel Peace Prize. Moreover, the expertise of the university's researchers is continuously being endorsed and sought after. For example, As a result of the floods in the state of Tabasco in 2007, the Engineering Institute was invited to participate in the elaboration of the state's hydric plan.
The university's volcanologists are in charge of monitoring the country's volcanoes, particularly Popocatépetl. Its historians and anthropologists unravel the past in order to better understand the present.
The school's biologists and ecologists study the flora and fauna that make up the country's territory, promoting measures to protect the ecosystems and the environment, while engineers, jurists, chemists, and architects, among others, contribute with viable and effective solutions to the country's problems.
The National Researcher System has 3,251 academics from UNAM on its register. These represent the top 50% of all researchers listed.
One part of supporting the academic activities is the enormous effort that goes into keeping the buildings and other spaces in good condition, which is why the classrooms, laboratories, workshops, and athletic areas are constantly being maintained.
With equal determination, the installations, whether for the sciences or the humanities, are being equipped with the instruments and cutting-edge technology needed, so the students and staff can carry out their work with both security and efficiency.
In order to preserve its environment and facilitate transportation for its community and visitors, the National University has a Puma Bus transport system with 10 routes and a Bici Puma bicycle program. Both cleaner and free of charge, these services cover the totality of the Central Campus territory, the scientific investigation route, and the cultural and athletic zones.
UNAM's cultural infrastructure and wealth are vast and invaluable. It has 23 museums where art and history are renewed and science is disseminated.
A cultured public welcomes each new season of the school's musical, theater, film, and dance presentations. Every year, more than 3.5 million people attend over 7,000 of these cultural functions.
Producing some 6 books a day, UNAM has become one of Mexico's leading publishing houses.
The University Cultural Center houses the Sala Netzahualcoyotl, an exceptional auditorium for the enjoyment of music. At this same area of the campus, the new University Museum of Contemporary Art was built. In the north-central part of the city, in what was the Ministry of Foreign Relations in Tlatelolco, the university inaugurated a new University Cultural Center, which increases in no small measure its task of disseminating culture, along with teaching foreign languages and information technology.
At the very same location, the 68th Memorial, a museographic space, allows visitors to learn of the events of that year and the subsequent political and social consequences.
The National University's 2 orchestras, UNAM and Sinfónica de Minería, both enjoy wide recognition.
UNAM has built installations in 24 of the country's states, including the Federal District, the capital. These campuses throughout the country help to promote development through the staff, research, and links with other institutions.
The campuses in Ensenada, Cuernavaca, Morelia, and Juriquilla fortify their presence with institutes and first-rate research centers, where cutting-edge projects are carried out in the most diverse areas of knowledge.
The school is present and active throughout the country in places as diverse as Sierra de San Pedro Martir and the ecological reserves of Chamela and Los Tuxtlas, places of enormous biodiversity.
Through its multidisciplinary staff and research units in Sisal and Ixtapas y Huatanejo, the university collaborates in the search for solutions to social problems, such as looking for development alternatives in coastal zones.
In addition, UNAM has extension schools in Los Angeles, San Antonio, and Chicago in the U.S., and another in Quebec, Canada.
Through these schools, the institution is strengthened beyond its borders, preserving and disseminating both the Spanish language and Mexican culture. We also provide the academic and cultural tools to Mexicans that reside in those countries.
Beginning in 2009, in collaboration with the Cervantes Institute of Spain, UNAM will certify anywhere in the world via internet the ability to speak Spanish. This way, anyone can officially validate their proficiency of the language, which is spoken by more and more people every day.
Compared to other institutions of higher education, UNAM has the most important and complete library and computer systems in Mexico.
Its 142 libraries house more than 12 million volumes of almost 4 million titles, 5 million of which may be checked out for home use. The digital archive contains 25,000 electronic magazines. The library serves some 22 million patrons annually.
UNAM's computer network is linked to more than 50,000 computers. The university is also the owner of the Canbalam supercomputer, one of the most powerful on the continent, whose calculating capacity exceeds 7 billion arithmetic calculations per second.
In order to facilitate communications, the access and exchange of information, Ciudad Universitaria and the Advanced Studies faculties have a wireless network which allows all its users access to an online connection at any location on these campuses.
UNAM also operates the University Cultural Channel, which transmits its programming through cable and Sky. As well as Radio UNAM, whose signal goes out on both AM and FM frequencies, and by internet. These reflect not only the voice, but the spirit of the university as well.
Throughout its history, UNAM has remained deeply rooted in the people of Mexico.
This is the reason why the National University has been entrusted with safeguarding many of the country's most precious treasures, such as the National Library and the National Periodical Archive, which represent the nation's memory.
The National Library, for example, maintains archives from the 16th and 17th centuries under strict temperature and humidity conditions. The numerous incunables which are kept receive special care considering their cultural value.
The school is responsible for photographic collections by renowned photographers, the esteemed chroniclers of our national culture.
UNAM offers many other services of great interest that in other countries wouldn't necessarily be the responsibility of an educational institution. Perhaps this is why UNAM is looked to as much more than just a school.
UNAM's experts operate and preserve, among its other equipment and collections, the National Seismological Service, the National Myriographic Network, and the National Herbarium.
Likewise, the university also keeps the national collections of the most varied species of flora and fauna, endemic to our territory. Moreover, its scientists are charged with preserving, enriching, and, of course, studying such singular collections.
Every year, 18,000 young students from every field of study perform their national social service. This is not only a fundamental part of their training, but also a way of giving back to society.
For example, dentistry and psychology students work in clinics where virtually free consultations are given to hundreds of thousands of patients every year. Also, the veterinary medicine and zoology faculty at both CU and Cuautitlan offers attention to different species on and off the premises.
Advanced students from these faculties, as well as faculties of medicine, optometry, engineering, sociology, law, and social work, form brigades that go out into marginalized zones throughout the country and assist those populations free of charge.
The National University has exceptional athletic facilities, some of which have been the scene of important competitions, such as the Olympics, the Pan American and Central American Games, the Universiada, and the 1986 World Cup.
UNAM offers 47 different sports programs for both serious and merely recreational athletes.
The school's teams, named the Pumas, are an integral part of our institution's identity. This can especially be said of the school's football and soccer teams.
UNAM's central campus at Ciudad Universitaria dates back to the middle of the last century. It possesses a unique and incomparable architecture, adorned with the works of the most important muralists of their time: Diego Rivera, David Alfaro Siqueiros, Juan O'Gorman, and Francisco Eppens, among others.
The campus actually belongs to the entire world. Its essence as an artistic and historic monument was recognized and declared by UNESCO a cultural heritage of humanity.
Besides Ciudad Universitaria, UNAM possesses its own formidable heritage. It safeguards innumerable works of art and, above all, many of the country's emblematic historical buildings. Examples include the Palacio de Minería, San Ildefonso, the Antigua Escuela de Medicina, the Palacio de la Autonomía, the Museo del Chopo, and the Casa del Lago.
The institution's daily labors can't even be imagined without the participation of its employees. Every day, staff and workers toil to keep up the smooth operations of the laboratories, classrooms, administrative offices, and the athletic facilities. Their contributions are what keep the university spirit high.
The National University generates substantial resources every year, the product of its experts and their work, through contracts and agreements with institutions and companies in the private, public, and social sectors.
During the last few months, UNAM participated in more than 30 international collaboration agreements and keeps 831 in force. As an upper educational institution, its leadership with the Internet in Latin America has been reaffirmed, and it is placed at number 44 in the world ranking of universities on the web, according to the Higher Council of Scientific Researchers of Spain.
This year, the university created the Innovation and Development Coordination to support and foment the transfer of technology, knowledge, services, and products developed by university scientists out toward the country's productive sectors. All of which is done with the university's constant pursuit to update, be connected with social needs, and mindful of the labor context.
UNAM is principally the university of all Mexicans. It's synonymous with opportunities and prosperity. The university is the country's greatest tool and means of social mobility.
Hundreds of thousands of Mexicans through the generations have enjoyed so much of what UNAM has been able to offer. They have been forged as integrated human beings as well as professionals, and as a result have been able to ascend to a higher standard of quality of life.
The school's bonds with its graduates are unbreakable. We currently find our former students involved in some 100 associations, both nationally and abroad. Our graduates are leaders in companies, industry, services, and in academia. Without a doubt, this is the best indicator that UNAM works well.
UNAM is, as much as anything else, a space of liberties.
In its classrooms, laboratories, auditoriums, and open areas, respect, tolerance, and dialogue are practiced daily.
The plurality of thought and ideas is appreciated as a sign of wealth and never viewed as a weakness.
The National University works to advance gender equality. Individual preferences are respected, be they ideological, religious, sexual, or any other. In addition, Mexico is recognized as a multi-ethnic and multicultural nation.
Out of respect for the rights of all, UNAM created the post of Ombudsman.
For the past 2 decades, the university's Legal Rights Defense Office has been in charge of safeguarding and guaranteeing the rights of the school's community.
The country's most notable artists, humanists, and scientists have passed through UNAM's classrooms. Among them, 3 Mexican Nobel Prize winners: the diplomat Alfonso Garcia Robles, the poet Octavio Paz, and the chemist Mario Molina.
UNAM is a robust and mature institution, academically rigorous and pertinent, but as any university, in a constant process of improvement and modernization. This is why it aspires to the best students, academics, researchers, and installations in order to better face Mexico's future.
Thus, the National Autonomous University of Mexico faces the present and is committed to the future.